Welcome in Belgium. I'm Annick Schramme from the University of Antwerp. I'm responsible for a master program in cultural management, and since 2013 I'm also the president of ENCATC.
Hello, I'm Hermann Voesgen, professor for project management at the University of Applied Science in Potsdam.
Hello everybody, let me present myself. My name is Jacques Bonniel. I'm a French sociologist, mainly focused on sociology of education and culture, coming from University Lyon 2.
My name is Lluis Bonet. I'm a professor at the University of Barcelona. I'm the director of the cultural management program there from 1989, so a long time ago.
Hello, my name is Cristina Ortega. I would like to briefly present myself. It's very difficult, but I will start from the beginning.
ENCATC started to run in the beginning of the 90s, and in the year 2000 we had two main changes at the same time. For one side, our executive director, Isabel Schwarz, decided to move to another job, and so we need to choose another person. As well, we decided to move from Copenhagen to Brussels, so we moved the office.
I was ENCATC's first executive director, first in Brussels and then in Copenhagen. The main challenges of that time were related to the transformation from an informal network of highly committed individuals to a professional advocacy and training organization, a European platform that is recognized by its peers, by the arts and culture sector by and large, but also by the European institutions.
At that time, a very important, interesting topic was the question of values behind our acting as culture manager. And we found out how different we look at values and how we integrate them in our practice. We did a whole conference about it, about culture management and how we called it, and the question of values in a shifting landscape.
In 2013 we felt for the first time the impact of the financial crisis of 2008, and a lot of cultural organizations suffered from that.
At that time, the necessary professionalization in this sector became obvious. So numerous training courses in cultural management were created everywhere in Europe. Also, we were starting to face strong structural evolution, blending culture with other dimensions, economic, social, territorial, including major technological changes introduced by the digitalization.
This time, the situation and the main challenge was on the growing process in the cultural sector everywhere. In particular, in Eastern and Central Europe, after the changes that happens in the beginning of the 90s, the cultural sector begins to be more stable, but there were a big need for a new generation of professionals able to be as well very international connected, but as well strongly commit on a sustainable local cultural development.
For me, the worst challenge or the biggest challenge was afterwards. I mean, how to keep those programs and initiatives. I mean, for me, the challenge was sustainability.
The impact of the network of that time, thanks to its growing professional reputation and visibility, ENCAT was able to position itself as an agenda setter and a policy influencer on various levels. And it was also at the time that it became an official dialogue partner to different European institutions, but not only, also to international organizations like UNESCO, for example.
For one hand, there is the political commitment when the network proposes key issues for debate. So it's a space of debating the challenges, the problems, etc. Another one, I think, is that the network is a perfect space for comparative analysis, for applied research, for sharing different points of view. And I think this is as well an important element. And finally, something which is very important as well at national level or at international level, which is the academic legitimation of the profession. So I think these are some of the assets that the network and the members of the network, of course, give to the profession.
For me, ENCAT is a huge contact agency. You meet people from very different course institutions, countries, and it opens the possibility for you to work in different countries, and also for your students, give your students more options. My learning style has changed in the last 20 years thanks to the influence of colleagues from different countries, their learning styles, their way of thinking, of questioning, also the way how they integrate practice in their teaching, and hopefully vice versa.
Gathering universities and cultural agencies that were very different in their orientation and curricula, ENCAT reminded their members of the necessity of a multidisciplinary and multilateral approach of the training of cultural administrators, by encouraging its members to adopt managerial and economic approaches and to mobilize human and social sciences to develop not a technocratic vision of the cultural manager's profession, but rather a humanistic one.
I mean, all that knowledge and inspiration we gather, we put them into practice in our programs. We were coordinators, directors, or professors of cultural management programs. So all that knowledge, I mean, that we brought from ENCAT, we brought it to our programs, and our programs were embedded by this knowledge and inspiration. So that came directly to the new managers, new cultural managers.
First of all, we need to value the contribution of our members in their countries. By their programs, they contributed to the professionalization of the sector. Secondly, ENCAT is really a bridge maker. By our policy debates, we make links between the policymakers, the academics, and the cultural sector.
At the same time, we also had the chance to participate in European projects and to have a first-hand dissemination of the results of the projects that again had an impact on our programs.
In 2013, we developed a new concept for our award, the ENCAT Award. Since 2013, we give the award to a PhD, and the award means the publication of the award in English, distributed by an international publisher.
We also developed another tool, it was the Scholar, because we listened to our members, and I remember that they were eager to share new methodologies to put into practice during the class. and also to share, I mean, to have resources for the class. So we developed this digital magazine that it's called The Scholar, that it was especially developed to attend this demand of our members.
First of all, the further internationalization of the network. Last year, we created a network of networks. In this way, we want to give support to the creation of networks on cultural management and cultural policy in other parts of the world. Therefore, we organized also the global conversation. The first time it was in Edinburgh during the AAAE conference, and now in September 2017 in Brussels we have the second edition where we'll have a conversation with the policymakers.
Another challenge is again internationalization beyond European borders, but also inside. I think that we are living challenging moments nowadays in Europe.
It is the renationalization of culture. This is very frightening. It's not only Brexit, it's in most European countries a tendency to take your national culture more important than transcultural development and so on.
A second challenge is the creative industries. How do we deal with the creative industries? Because it's impact also our programs. We have to deal with issues like cultural entrepreneurship and how is it related to cultural management.
The drive in my life is learning. ENCATC is a wonderful place for that. I learn every day from my team, from my members, from the activities that we organize or I attend. In the same time, I'm a person that values strong relationships. ENCATC is not only an institution able to organize powerful events, deliver publications, recommendations, documents. ENCATC is also a story of people.
Why should anyone want to join ENCATC today? Well, I think because of this tendency and because it's so frightening, we have really to keep Europe ongoing and to fight for the pulse of Europe. This is more important than ever.
We need to collaborate with others, and it's the only way to do it. I mean, if you work in an organization below this umbrella, so that's the only way to do. And at the same time for, your professional career too.
So I think it's wonderful for anyone who wants not to be alone in their own institution, but sharing with other people common interests, common problems, common opportunities, and as well joint projects. So I think it's fantastic to be part of this kind of network.
If you want to be part of the international community, become a member of ENCATC. And secondly, if you want to contribute to the debate, it is also necessary to be part of ENCATC.
Sorry.
So, that's all for now. See you later. Bye.
Okay, so if we have finished, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.